Hey everyone, Happy New Year, Chris Barron here, happy 2023. Of course, the beginning of a new month means new market stats from the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board. This is your market update video for December 2022. I can say that the market went out a little quiet here at the end of 2022. Goes in like a lion, comes out like a lamb, I guess. But let's get right into the market stats. Looking at single family stats for Parksville, Qualicum, and Nanaimo, of course, it's the same story whenever we compare a month this year compared to a month last year. We're going to see some decreases in prices and average days on market going up. But this year for single family for December, not that much in terms of units being listed compared to last year. Like I said, we kind of went out with a little bit of a fizzle this year. When you're looking at December 22 versus November 2022 in terms of single family, again, not much has really changed month to month. Average days on market are pretty level. The only big difference for December is that our number of units listed was a decrease versus last month, which of course we increased over November 2021. So to me, that means balanced market for single family units. Strata was a little tougher for December. Not a lot going on, not a big sample size. So the numbers here are going to be a little bit skewed just for the lack of data. But when you compare it to November 2022, that sample size really comes into effect and we see a wide range of different numbers and you're looking at average prices and even average days on market. We should start to see some settling in the market, especially for strata properties as we head into the spring. And we do see the units sold and units listed that we are normally used to seeing in a spring market. One thing I did want to show you this time around was the number of sales and number of listings that we've had, at least for the last 5 years, just to give you a sense of what I'm seeing in the market. So when taking a look at the number of sales and number of active listings here, I mean, the big thing that jumps out for me is just 2021 and the discrepancy you see in that year, in that column versus all the other years. One thing I do want to point out though is in 2022, as we get down to, about October, September in some cases, we're starting to see around the same levels that we were seeing in 2018 and 2019 pre-pandemic. So does that mean that this pandemic market's over? Most certainly the pandemic market is over. We've been noticing that since June, but we're also back to the levels that we're seeing at that time. So whenever you're watching the news or you're listening to somebody talk about the real estate market, they're always talking about the percentage changes from this time last year. This time last year was an outlier. I look past those and I look to the years that were more normal. Comparing 2022, especially the end of 2022 versus the more normal years that we had in 2018 and 2019, I'd say our real estate market's back on track. We're more on track to what a typical real estate market would be here in mid-Vancouver Island. We're seeing the numbers kind of balance out. We're seeing the prices balance out. Although those prices are higher than those years that I mentioned, we've had some growth, especially pandemic growth that's stuck around. We're going to be experiencing more of a typical market. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that's going to affect that market, the interest rates, some of the new enacted legislation, the Strat Act amendments here in BC, and of course the foreign buyers prohibition that the federal government has legislated. Those are going to affect the market, but we won't really see what those have done, especially that interest rate change, until the spring market really gets going here in the next little while. If you have any questions about this market update or about the real estate market here in mid-Vancouver Island, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always happy to help.